Dileep, I just wondered if we could just start off and set the scene a little bit. How are you currently doing? How are you addressing the crisis at the moment? And what are you doing to prepare for the reopening?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that we should be optimistic of future. While we talk about new norm, we shouldn't forget the fact that there might be an old norm as well coming in. So it's very important to understand the market dynamics. And so far I've been telling that all the research that was done saying that this is going to happen, that is going to happen, this way it's going to happen, have proven wrong in terms of human behavior. The reason being that, we know how the human behavior can be predicted. So keeping that mind, not to lose hope, is the first thing. And second thing is that make sure that any other businesses that they do, it's easier said than done in terms of managing your cash flows. I mean, keeping on to your cash and make sure that you navigate this period very, very carefully. And that's basically financial prudence, which the organization should have to steer and go through this period. Third one is actually, we were talking about physical distancing, but not about brand distancing. So it's very important that, brand is stay closer to your target audience and keep on reminding that you're there. It may be a destination, a hotel, or any other brand. And there are enough and more examples on that, how people have done it and executed it. So we would be actually focused on that. And the fourth element is your health and safety standards. There was certain expectation of health and safety standards in hotels. There are books and books written on it. There are manuals written on it. End of the day, when it comes to a few areas that you're looking at it, of course, you have internal customer and external customer both to be taken care of. So those are the four things that we are looking at it. And the fifth one is how is your recovery marketing plan takes place, and what are the audiences that you're focusing on a short term, medium term, and long term, and how do you approach them in that context. So those are the four things that as a group we are working on, apart from many other strategies that we have put in place. And it looks like all coming together, and we believe that the impact will be reduced very soon. And then of course recovery we can't expect this year, but of course it will take, as a lot of people have predicted, maybe a year and a half, maybe two. So the last couple of months is actually it is too soon. One thing we knew that we did not have enough data to take any decisions, and not to rush into decisions, in terms of laying off people, etc. There could be certain adjustments in the cost that like every other brand has to do. So we have done it. And the second thing is we were looking at, say, what is the market behavior, and we were watching what's going to happen. That's the most important thing, with anticipation. And of course, reducing the cost and maintaining the current hotels, and looking at the plan that, what we're going to do once we open, and preparing ourselves, gearing ourselves. Once the good time comes in, how do we react? So that's all about preparation, financially, operationally, and also from a marketing perspective and brand perspective as well. Yeah, so we have three types of operations. The first one is F&B operation. We started already in city hotels delivering, which has a tremendous feedback. And we also had basically restaurant people coming into the restaurants. And we had last week around 3,500 covers that, people came in, almost 80% occupancy in most of the restaurants that we opened. So it's a very good sign. Second one is a banquet. So we had already, with the new guidelines in place, we have put it across, already held some weddings, which is actually a bread and butter for city hotels. Third one is we're looking at now opening from this weekend onwards for the locals, the domestic market, who wants to travel on various parts of hotels. Certain hotels will be open for that. And then when we know very clearly what the plans are with the foreign tourists and the program that the airport is going to put in place, aircraft arrival, etc., from 1st of August, then that process will be also in place to accommodate whoever tourists that are coming in. So currently, as in that order, F&B, banquet, domestic tourism, and the fourth one is international tourism based on the guidelines the government is going to introduce. It's a little too early to say again what kind of a segment, but it's very important that you have a really solid segmentation strategy in terms of when you're catering. Currently, the all research pointing out to three main segments. One is we are looking at young professionals, 25 to 35, 38 kind of a group. Second one is domestic traveler. Third one is the backpackers. Those are three segments. That's going to be the latest research released about 2 weeks back you're talking about. But in the meantime, there are other sub-segments who are people emerging on wellness, basically treating on some sort of patients, on cancer patients, etc., who are actually domestically driven solutions. Long stay clients coming from Europe who actually fear of second wave in those countries. Then people are coming for the returning or the wellness travel. People, especially the frontline health workers who are looking for such vacations to coming here. So those are the main segments that we're looking at it. The rest of the segments, we will see how it evolved. But I think if these four have been properly targeted, we should be able to create some impact. I think that within the month of June, we will reopen all. I mean, this weekend, we're opening about 3 to 4 hotels. The balance hotels will be open by end of June, depending on the demand and when the people are coming in. So we would look at from July onwards.
Fantastic, very, very positive, and really good to hear. Just in closing, are there any particular opportunities that you see in the market post-COVID to do new things, to think a little bit differently, given the new conditions?
Absolutely. I think this is actually, I mean, we've been telling as well, especially countries like Sri Lanka, we should actually move towards purpose-driven tourism and to understand what we really need in Sri Lanka and what type of tourism that we need. And it's very important to understand that, strategize it, and move towards. And then some of the mistakes that we have seen in the past, it's an ideal time. You know, Sri Lanka is an ideal example of actually a good platform that we have received, and to adjust our tourism to fit into the future developments and make sure that we are driving what we call purpose-driven tourism in the country.
Fantastic. Dileep Mudadeniya, thank you so much